The iron table vibrates with the distant, rhythmic thumping of the forge's great pistons. You lean forward, pressing your palms against the cold metal, your gaze fixed solely on the high smith. The captains shift uncomfortably, their heavy armor clinking, but you do not blink.
This plan only works if the Iron Sentinels are ready to move the moment we return with the shards. I am risking my life and the lives of my companions in the rot of the marshes. Can you guarantee your machines will be ready to strike, Hagar? Or are we chasing ghosts?
Hagar's bushy silver eyebrows knit together, and he leans his massive weight over the table, meeting your challenge. The heat from his proximity is like standing before an open furnace.
You doubt the blood of the mountain.
If you bring back the aether shards, my sentinels will walk through the Duke's walls like they're made of wet parchment.
He's right. I've already got the chassis prepped. We just need the spark. You get us the shards, and I'll have the Iron Sentinel leading the charge before you've even washed the swamp mud off your boots.
Yosef steps up beside you, his hand resting briefly on the hilt of his blade, a silent testament to his readiness.
Then the terms are set. We secure the supply, and you provide the hammer to crush the blockade.
Hagar grunts, nodding slowly. He reaches into a pouch at his belt and pulls out a heavy, brass-cased compass, sliding it across the iron table toward you.
Take this. It's tuned to the resonance of the shards. It'll lead you to the shipment, assuming the lizard folk haven't smashed them to bits yet.
You pick up the brass compass. It feels warm in your hand, vibrating with a faint, magical hum. The council of captains begins to disperse to their stations, leaving you, Yosef, and Cora at the table. The weight of the mission settles onto your shoulders, a journey into the most treacherous terrain in the Shattered Plains. The brass compass hums against your palm, a steady vibration that feels like a second heartbeat. You turn your head toward Yosef, the orange glow of the great forge highlighting the sharp, handsome angles of his face. Despite the soot, the heat, and the impossible odds Hagar has just laid out, you find yourself smiling.
Ready for another adventure, poet? It's a bit wetter than the High Spire, but I hear the sunken marshes have a certain charm.
Yosef lets out a short, soft laugh, his eyes brightening with a mix of relief and renewed devotion. He adjusts the strap of his travel pack, stepping closer until his shoulder brushes yours.
As long as you are the one leading the way, Wyndra, I would follow you into the abyss itself. Though I may have to write a very long, very pointed poem about the smell of swamp gas when we return.
Cora snorts, crossing her arms over her grease-stained apron. She looks between the two of you with a smirk that suggests she's seen this kind of tension many times before, even in the middle of a war zone.
If you're done making eyes at each other, I've got something that might keep you from sinking into the muck. Follow me to the lift. Unless you'd rather walk down 5,000 stairs.
Hagar returns to his anvil, the first massive strike of his hammer echoing through the chamber like a signal fire. You follow Cora across the vibrating floor of the great forge, heading toward a rusted iron cage suspended by massive, grease-slicked chains. The lift groans as the three of you step inside. Cora pulls a heavy lever, and with a jarring lurch, You begin to descend into the darkness beneath the mountain. As the lift plunges downward, the air begins to change, the dry heat of the forge replaced by a thick, cloying humidity that smells of ancient rot and stagnant water. Cora leans against the iron bars, her expression turning serious as the light of the forge fades above you. The iron cage of the lift rattles violently as it descends, the rhythmic clanking of the chains echoing against the damp stone of the shaft. The air grows heavy, the scent of sulfur and wet earth replacing the dry heat of the forge. You lean against the vibrating bars, your eyes fixed on Cora's silhouette in the dim, flickering light of a single oil lantern hanging from the ceiling.
What's the real reason your scouts haven't come back, Cora? Is it the Duke or the lizard folk?
Cora sighs, the sound lost for a moment in the screech of metal on metal. She pulls a small, dented flask from her apron, takes a quick swig, and wipes her mouth with the back of a grease-stained hand. Her expression, usually full of bravado, turns somber.
Both, and neither.
The Duke's got the main road blocked with a reinforced garrison, but the scouts we sent through the back channels, the sinking path, they didn't just disappear. The ones we found, well, they weren't killed by swords or arrows.
Then what? The environment? Or something worse?
The marshes have been restless since the sundering.
The lizard folk, the scaled-tide tribe, they've started worshiping something they dug out of the muck. They call it the Deep Singer. My boys were found with their lungs full of swamp water, and their eyes turned to glass. No wounds, just gone.
The lift hits the bottom with a jarring thud, the gate sliding open with a rusted groan. Beyond the threshold, a thick, bioluminescent fog rolls over the floor, obscuring the path. You step out of the lift, your boots sinking slightly into the soft, mossy earth. The silence of the marsh is absolute, broken only by the distant, haunting croak of a predator. Cora points toward a series of glowing mushrooms that line a narrow ridge of limestone. You step off the iron platform. The transition from the mountain's stone heart to the marsh's soggy floor, feeling like a descent into another world. A thick, pale green mist clings to your knees, swirling around your leather boots like a living thing. The air is heavy and tastes of copper and rot. Sensing a shift in the atmosphere that has nothing to do with the Duke's soldiers, you reach back, your fingers finding Yosef's hand and gripping it tightly.
Stay close. I don't like the look of this mist. It feels intentional.
Yosef's fingers interlace with yours immediately, his grip firm and grounding. He steps up beside you, his other hand hovering near the hilt of his curved blade. The exotic silks of his attire seem to dampen in the humid air, the vibrant colors muted by the emerald haze.
I feel it too. It's not just moisture. There's a hum beneath the silence, like a chord being held just out of earshot.
Cora remains by the lift, her hand resting on the heavy lever. She watches the two of you with a mixture of pity and respect.
That's the resonance Hagar mentioned. The shards are close, but so is whatever the scaled tide are feeding. I'll keep the lift primed. If the gears start screaming, it means I'm pulling you up. Shards or no shards.
Cora pulls the gate shut, the rusted iron bars providing a final clanging barrier between you and the relative safety of the forge. You turn your back to the lift and face the sinking path. The bioluminescent mushrooms pulse with a sickly light, marking a trail that winds between twisted, skeletal mangroves. As you move deeper into the swamp, the mist begins to thin, revealing a clearing where the water is as still as black glass. In the center of the pool, a cluster of jagged, crystalline shards protrudes from a half-submerged Aurelian ruin. They glow with a rhythmic, pulsing blue light, the ether shards. However, the ruins are not empty. A tall, pale figure rises from the water near the shards, its movements fluid and silent. It holds a staff topped with a glowing crystal that hums in perfect unison with the mist.
The mountain dweller send a spark to reclaim the sun, but the deep singer demands the silence remain.
The priest raises their staff, and the water around the ruins begins to churn. From the dark depths, several more lizard folk warriors emerge, their spears tipped with jagged bone. They don't charge. They circle, waiting for the priest's command. The water ripples around the priest's waist, sending small, phosphorescent waves lapping against the Aurelian ruins. You do not draw your blade. Instead, you reach into your pouch and pull out the heavy brass compass Hagar gave you, holding it aloft so the rhythmic blue light of the shards reflects off its polished surface.
We only seek the shards to stop the Duke. He is a threat to the marshes as well. His blockades choke the life from the mountain. and his greed will not stop at the stone's edge. Once the forge falls, he will turn his iron eyes to your waters.
The scaled-tide priest tilts its head, its slit-pupiled eyes tracking the vibration of the compass. The lizard folk warriors stay their spears. They're breathing a low, wet hissing in the fog. The priest's skin is a mottled gray-green, adorned with necklaces of bone and polished river stones.
The iron walkers speak of threats while they hollow the earth. The Duke is a surface pest. The deep singer is the soul of the rot.
The shards are the singer's heartbeat. To take them is to bring silence. Silence is death.
Wyndra, the water is rising. They aren't just standing there. They're waiting for the tide to trap us on this ridge.
We do not wish for your silence. We wish for a common enemy to fall. If the Duke takes these shards, he will use them to fuel engines of destruction that will boil these marshes dry. Let us take what the forge needs to fight, and we leave your singer in peace.
The priest steps closer, the staff humming with a sudden, sharp frequency that makes the water dance in geometric patterns.
You speak with the weight of old blood, daughter of the broken crown. But the singer requires a trade, life for life, heartbeat for heartbeat.
The priest points the glowing crystal of its staff toward Yosef, then toward the pulsing ether shards. The lizard folk warriors close the circle, their bone-tipped spears glinting. To gain the shards and save the resistance, the priest demands a ritual sacrifice, not of blood, but of a portion of one's vital essence, a choice that will leave the giver permanently weakened. The air between you and the lizard folk priest hums with a sickening, low-frequency vibration. You reach out, your fingers interlacing with Yosef's, squeezing his hand until your knuckles turn white. You can feel the steady, rapid thrum of his pulse against your palm, a reminder of the life you are both about to diminish.
We will not let one bear what belongs to both. Yusuf and I will share the burden. We are partners in this, and we will face the cost together. Take what is required for your singer, and give us the heartbeat of the mountain.
Yosef doesn't flinch. He steps closer, his shoulder pressing against yours, his green eyes fixed on the priest with a terrifyingly calm resolve.
In all things, Wyndra, from the high spire to the depths of this rot, I am yours.
The scaled-tide priest let out a long, rattling hiss that might have been a sign of respect. It raises the bone-adorned staff, and the green mist begins to spiral inward, forming a localized vortex around the two of you. The water at your feet boils without heat.
Two hearts, one rhythm. The deep singer accepts the resonance. Bind yourselves to the silence.
A sudden, piercing cold lances through your chest, as if an icicle has been driven into your very soul. Beside you, Yusef gasps, his grip on your hand tightening until it's painful. You feel a part of your inner fire, that tireless spark that kept you running through the crags, diminish, leaving a hollow, aching fatigue in its wake. Your vision blurs, the world turning to a gray smudge of moss and shadow. As the sensation fades, the priest lowers the staff. The ether shards in the center of the pool flare with a blinding sapphire light before dimming to a manageable glow. The water recedes, leaving the shards exposed and ripe for the taking. You stumble, your knees buckling, but Yusef catches you, though he is pale and trembling himself. The price has been paid. You feel older, heavier, as if the mountain itself now sits upon your shoulders. But the shards are yours, and the path to the lift is clear. Yusef holds you steady, his breathing shallow as he looks at the glowing crystals. The bone-deep chill lingers in your marrow, a ghostly reminder of the essence you just surrendered to the swamp. Your legs feel like lead, and every breath is a conscious effort against the heavy humidity. You lean your weight into Yusef, feeling the slight tremor in his own frame as he supports you. Despite the gray pallor of his skin, you manage a weak, lopsided smirk.
At least we'll have a matching set of scars to talk about. It's certainly a more original bond than a silk ribbon or a ring.
Yusef lets out a breathy, hacking laugh that turns into a soft groan of exertion. He pulls you closer, his arm a solid band of warmth against the unnatural cold of the ritual.
I suppose I should thank you for the jewelry then, though I think I prefer the scars you can actually see. This one feels like it's carved into my very thoughts.
The scaled-tide priest watches you both with those unblinking, milky eyes. With a slow, fluid motion of its clawed hand, it gestures toward the Aurelian ruins. The lizard folk warriors step back into the murky depths, their forms dissolving into the green mist like ghosts returning to the grave.
The trade is sealed, the singer is fed. Take the heartbeats of the mountain and go, before the Iron Men find the path that is no longer hidden.
The priest sinks backward into the dark water without a splash, leaving you and Yusef alone on the muddy ridge. You limber forward, each step a battle against the sudden lethality of your exhaustion. Reaching the ruins, you find the ether shards. They are beautiful and terrible, pulsing with a sapphire light that seems to hum in your teeth. You carefully wrap them in a heavy leather cloth, the vibration through the fabric making your hands tingle. The trek back to the lift is a blur of shivering and silence. When the rusted cage finally comes into view through the fog, Cora is already there, her hand white-knuckled on the lever.
By the great anvil, you look like death warmed over. Did you find them, or did the marshes find you?
You hold up the bundle of glowing shards. The blue light spills through the gaps in the leather, reflecting off Cora's goggles. The lift begins its long, groaning ascent back toward the heat of the forge, leaving the sinking path behind. Yosef sinks onto the floor of the cage, pulling his knees to his chest as the warmth of the mountain begins to seep back into the air.